Okay, guys, so let's get into it. Yesterday, I put a series of posts um, challenging, let me take these off, challenging people to kind of analyze and look into their childhood and their relationships, particularly with their parents. This is very important and it's definitely needed. It's not to say that you have a plethora of issues, but it's good to do to kind of rule out any hidden traumas or hidden responses that you have in your current life. In order to do that, we must look at how we developed our relationships with both of our parents. And what I found very common amongst a lot of us is that if you are female, the relationship that you have with your mother can also show up certain wounds as far as relating to other women. If your mother was a competitive person and competed with you a lot, you tend to show that in your friendships with how you deal with other people, how they deal with you. If you are also a woman and you did not have direct contact with your father figure, so if you had a relationship with your father that was non-existent for the most part, they were probably in jail or not present, maybe had a double life, a whole nother family, maybe your mother kept you away from having a relationship with your father out of bitterness. Whatever the situation is that caused you to not be connected with your father, that shows up in your relationships. You usually go after people who are unavailable. And I mean, they are usually unavailable emotionally, or they themselves are in a marriage and you're the side chick. So that plays out in your relationships. And you also may deal with abandonment issues, which causes you to have a very messed up friendship where it's easy for you to let people go and detach yourselves from certain individuals, certain groups of friends. You find yourself bonding with people, vibing with them so quickly to the point that you guys are almost inseparable too soon. And then, let's say if they don't meet up to your standards or your expectations, it's easy for you to just detach yourself and ghost them. This is probably because this is what you always do. You've gotten used to becoming close with someone on that level emotionally and having them ripped away from you or not there for you or present, and you start to kind of expect it and feel like you kind of deserve it. This is what is supposed to happen. I mean, it's happened all my life. Why should now be any different? So we take that with us. For the men, if you have a relationship with your mother where maybe they weren't consistent, weren't the best, ignored you a lot, wasn't present, busy working, and could give you that nurturing behavior that is, associated with the motherly role. If you did not have that, you tend to have this underlying disdain in a sense, and it's more so like hurt that you bury that needs to be addressed. Do I have lipstick on my teeth? I think I do. Okay. And so what ends up happening is when you go into another relationship, whoever identifies as your motherly role, you may find yourselves attracted to these kind of women that you don't even know what about them attracts you. And most of the time it's a familiarity with your own mother in a sense. And you build up these feelings for this individual, And then when they let you down, just as your mother would, you feel the weight. It's like, how come you don't like show up for me in this way? It's kind of this cyclical dynamic that happens. Another thing is, of course, the race issue, especially with a lot of black males. They're raised by black women who were, especially in the Caribbean, who are forced to be these strong individuals, extremely strong, because they're taking on the role of mother and father, and their masculinity is on high, to the point that they may be overly strict, overly focused on providing, no emotional attachment or connection. Plus, society is telling you to bury your emotions on top of that. So, and they may even be so strong that even when they discipline you, they're being extra, to the point that it may feel like abuse to you, and it is abuse. And because of that, you tend to have this unspoken hatred about what you went through, that's tied to them. So then when you go out there in the world and you try to date, you date anybody but them, including race. So it's like, I don't want to date no black girls because my mother is a black woman, and every black woman I know, i.e. my family, they're all like these crazy, toxic, bitter, angry women. They don't know how to appreciate anything, and they cursing everywhere, and they're always yelling at men, and they hate men, and they always bash men. So it's a negative imprint that sits there and festers. So you tend to want to date anything else, anyone else. So you like your Latino women, the ones who are, white, Hispanic, and you want to date your Asians, and you want to date Pacific Islanders, Native Americans, anybody who is a part of the white race. Not so it's your hurt is taking a front seat in your life. You're allowing that hurt inner child to control you in your adulthood and make those adult decisions. You may think you're making your own decisions, but you're not. You're doing you're dealing with what comes before, right? But the final decision, right, is going to be that inner child, which you might say is, oh my God, this is my gut, I just feel it. No, honey, your hurt self is feeling it, which is why we stress healing, because you have to heal that inner child, because that's where your gut instincts come from. How are you going to have intuition and be intuitive, but your inner child is hurting? The inner child is in the front seat until it's healed. So yes, until you heal yourself to the point that you start to love yourself and mother or parent yourself wherever you were lacking. So again, if you're a male, you had issues with mom, whatever, you need to find a way to nurture yourself, to breed in the self-love, the self-care, and all of that. It's a process. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be an excruciating process. You're going to have to do all of this, untangling, unweaving for all these years, and then love on your inner child. So it's like you're loving your previous self. You're loving the child who didn't get that love. You have to do that for that person. You have to be like the mother or whatever to that person. And that is when you're able to heal them, move forward in confidence. And part of that ugly and unraveling that ugly is to be truthful and honest, transparent with yourself about what issues are present in right now that are the cause or the effect of what happened before. You have to go through all of that through either journaling, writing it down, getting in tune with how you truly feel about everything and different things, looking at yourself. Have I always dated? I mean, if I've had So many relationships that haven't worked out. Obviously, I have a role to play. What role is that? What could I have done better? How could I have showed up for myself better? Maybe you did everything textbook, by the book in that relationship as the partner, but what did you do to hurt your own self in the process? So if you were cheated on all the time, did you make excuses for the red flags? Did you create boundaries? Did you stick up for those boundaries? Did you stick up for yourself in those situations, or did you just let them cheat and like gave them the benefit of the doubt, putting their needs first, or putting being loyal to them in front of you being loyal to yourself? So it's analyzing it from that perspective and figuring out, well, why do I do that? Do I do that in my friendships too, where I kind of initiate everything for everyone else? I kind of show up for everyone else. I listen to everyone and, do cute little sentimental gestures and don't get that in return. And if you find yourself saying, well, yes, I never get anything reciprocated, then yeah, because part of you doesn't feel like you deserve it. Because I guarantee you, if you felt like you deserved it and you knew that you were the shit and you knew that you deserved everything that is coming to you that is good, you would ask for it. You would ensure that you received it. And if not, you would just leave. So if you're not leaving and you keep extending all these chances and you're not getting the message because this person is showing you who they are, then what is it about yourself that you don't like or that you have not dealt with? So you have to delve into that in order to find the answer. Once you're able to do that, you're able to set healthy boundaries. You're able to show up for yourself. You're able to be the best friend to yourself. See, we look for other people to do that for us. And this ties in, I don't want to get too far off, but it does tie in because it's the same in relationships as friendships. Think about it. In relationships, right? Let's go back to the man and the mother trauma response. Because you weren't nurtured as a child properly, or however it's supposed to be, you tend to, if you ever notice when men say, I love the fact that she can cook like my mother, or I love the fact she reminds me of my mother, and these are the women that they end up marrying, right? And the reason why is because they're lacking mothering. So sometimes they look for their mother in other women, and then you'll hear the women on the other end complain about how, oh my God, I don't have just 2 kids, I have 3 because I have to be mom to my husband too, and I have to remind him of his appointments and tell him what to do and tell him, oh, remember this, and I have to like be the assistant to him and tend to his needs like a child. Because if I don't do that and I don't show up in that way, he's not going to be able to live without me. He's not going to be able to even think about me or think without me. Or I've seen it all the time, even in the hospitals. The patient comes in and it's like, oh, I can't fill this out. My wife does that. You don't know your date of birth? But that's the thing, because they rely on the woman that they're with to take over as mother. Hello? We do the same in friendships, guys. We spend so much time trying to find great friends. We are great friends to other people, so why can't they be great friends to us? And we're looking for someone else to be our best friend. I want a bestie. How come I don't have a bestie? I need someone to be like me. But that's the thing. You are your own bestie. You're supposed to be your own bestie first before you're 100 other people's bestie. Wow. That's why I can't take none of y'all friendships seriously. I'm being real. I can't. When I hear people talk about, oh, I don't even feel jealous. I don't. Because it's all BS. Like, if you cannot call your friend during times where you're hurting or times when you are, you're just disheveled and all over, you feel the worst of yourself, that's not a bestie, guys. It's not. That is a brunch friend, that is a club friend, or an associate, or an acquaintance. I know her from Facebook. That doesn't equal bestie. Y'all so quick to say bestie, 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 and you still depressed and you still don't have nobody to talk to. And some of y'all still call me like, oh, hey, I haven't talked to you in so long, but I'm here for you still. That's what a friend is supposed to be doing. And you see it all the time. You know those people who they have 100 friends. They're always, oh, my friend, my friend, my friend. Oh, yeah, that's my sis. Oh, yeah, that's my girl. Oh, yeah, that's my bestie. And they go on and on and on. And if you actually look at these relationships, sometimes it's one-sided. Bestie where? Because that's your bestie. You go brunch with them. You go hanging out with them. You go shopping. You go pop bottles. You go get ratchet and do all this toxic bullshit. But then when it comes down to you feeling like you matter, you're still depressed. You still have no one to talk to. I'm depressed. I have no one to call. I have no one to talk to. I have 1,000 friends. I have 1,000 real friends in real life and 5,000 followers on Facebook. But I can call none of them. And I can tell none of them about the hurt that I'm going through right now or the stress I'm going through right now. None of them is available right now for me to call and open myself up to. And then some of y'all say, oh yeah, that's my girl, my home girl. Okay, how? Oh, because she texts me every day and say good morning. Okay. Sound more like an alarm clock, if I'm being real with you. Not necessarily a bestie, but anyway, we have to look at our relationships with people and be honest with ourselves, guys. This is the time now. This is the year now. We got to get on it. This is it. Y'all gonna get a lot of truth this year. It's gonna be a lot of realizations. So you might as well get a little head start and figuring out who really are friends. How do you tell your friends how to show up for you? I'm not saying to get rid of your friends that you have now. I'm saying to tell them to step it up if they're not. And if you're that friend, you need to step it up. Can your friends call you and talk about their sadness as well as their celebrations? Can they? Really? Because if not, then you need to fix that. And then another thing, which is my point, is just focus on being your own best friend first. Be the best friend that you've always wanted to yourself first. That is how you show up for yourself. It's so crazy how people can show up and go to other people's events, their friends' events, and support them. Buy everything. Oh, I'm gonna buy this for your company. I'm gonna show out at your book release or your book signing. I'm gonna buy all the shirts from all the small local Black businesses. And I'm doing all of this for people who I don't even know. I'm doing all of this for my friends, and I don't even focus that on myself. I've been sitting on a business idea for years now. Why is that? Why you haven't shown up for yourself yet? I'm gonna open up my own restaurant one day. Okay, you know what? I have this new idea. Why? What are you waiting on? You put yourself in the back burner. You say, oh, now is not the time. I'm not ready yet. And you're showing up for everybody else and not yourself. You sticking up for your homegirl when her man cheats. And you're telling her, girl, leave him. Girl, you deserve so much better. And then when your man cheats, you get all quiet. Where's that energy for yourself? If you could tell your homeboy, your homegirl that they deserve so much better, and you could encourage them and uplift them, okay, so why you can't do that for yourself? Now is the time. You're worth it. Yeah. You're worth it more than they are. Yeah, because it's you. That's your responsibility. So get on it. Be your best friend first before you expect somebody else to be yours. Like they say, how you expect somebody to love you and you don't love yourself? So yeah. I mean, hello. I don't know what else to say to make it make sense. But yeah, show up for yourself first. Nothing wrong with that. It's not selfishness. It's self-care. Yeah. Do that. And then you will see how everything else will just fall into place. Those who are not meant to be in your space will get intimidated and move the hell out the way. The others who are using you will be exposed, right? Because they're going to have boundaries and you're going to tell them, well, no, I'm not going to give you no money this month. And then they will disappear. You know, it's going to be exposed. That's what's supposed to happen. Don't be afraid of what you lose. Be ready and prepare for what you can gain. And so now's the time, folks. Dig into those traumas. It's all a process. Set your boundaries, analyze your friendships, your relationships, and your associations, and move accordingly. Let it all unfold naturally. When you get rid of all of that, your abundance will find you. Right now, it's lost. You don't know who it's looking for. People don't understand, like, what you put out is what you get in return from the universe, from God. So if you have faulty relationships and jacked up friendships, it's science or physics. What are you attracting? Sketchy things. Abundance is not coming. But if you free up that space, get rid of that negative stuff, you bring space for your abundance, for positivity, for clarity, for purpose. You know, you won't be confused about what your purpose is. Trust me, if you go on this self-healing journey, there's no way you'll be confused as your purpose at the end of it. It'll come to you. And the right people to get you there will also come to you then, because then you're ready. But you have to deal with the ugly first. Deal with what is, hurting you.